Thanks for listening to Leadership Level Up. I'm your host, Dr. Jeff Williamson, and whether you are just starting your leadership journey or have led others for decades, this podcast aims to shine a spotlight on those who lead others and share their guiding principles that have made them great leaders. Welcome to Leadership Level Up. I'm your host, Jeff Williamson. It's good to have you with us here on our podcast. We love talking about leadership with leaders that come on to visit with us. It's good to have a friend back today, Jakob Knox. He was here a while back, and he made the second cut. So he's here for another chat with me. Yeah, no, the pressure's off, man. You're in. And so we love talking about leadership, and he's in a leadership role. A couple of years ago, started his current position as the CEO of the Manteno Chamber of Commerce, also the marketing director for the village of Mantino. It's this woven together thing that works. And so he's been in that role for a couple of years, and we talked last time about some of your early experiences. You know, I think if I recall, you were a high school kid working for the Park District, and then worked some in the media space, doing some sales and community engagement things. And then a couple of years back, became the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, like we mentioned. And so just a lot of fun things we talked about last time. This time I wanted to continue to kind of carry that forward, but talk a little bit about the kind of leader you've become, and then looking at the future or going forward is saying, hey, here's some things I've learned, but here's some things I think I want to experience or impact and have influence, if you will, have influence on other people in the community. So let's jump in with that a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, you're not a rookie anymore. You've been in this role. You've managed a couple of ginormous events that we know as Oktoberfest. So when you think about where you are today as a leader, what are some things you've realized about yourself to say, hey, my leadership style is this and this? What would some of those things be?
So no surprise to me, but I mean, just the connectedness piece for me, I have just that desire and that want to connect with people and get to know them at more of that deeper level. Not really necessarily about their business, though I love to hear about it, but just about them. You know, what got them there? What got them to that point? Why are you passionate about that? You know, I mean, that's huge for me, being that listening ear and learning about them. I feel like that's really helped me accelerate to where I am because I have that trait, you know.
You do.
I'll never forget you telling me, you know, my Gallup strength number one was woo.
Yeah, winning others over. Absolutely.
Lived by that ever since, you know. But having that ability to listen has been huge for me. I'm very strategic. Yeah. In a way, almost too strategic sometimes.
There's another Gallup strength.
Yep. I'm kind of going down the list here.
Yeah, boy. That's always okay with me.
Yeah, you know, I think that's another one that's big for me is just kind of looking at big picture, but then also kind of looking at the little subcategories of those different things from chamber life to village to the community relations end of that. Yeah. Kind of lose sleep sometimes overthinking about it and just over strategizing with just certain things. But hey, you know,
we learn to live with it, right?
That's right. But then I think for leadership for me specifically, I feel like I kind of take more of that backseat kind of role. Let the others that I'm quote unquote leading, let them lead it. You know, giving them that trust, that confidence to do what they think they should do, you know, with our Women Supporting Women group. I mean, that's affinity group here at the Mantino Chamber that, I mean, I am grateful that I don't have a lot to do with it, but it's because
you're 100% behind
trusting those three core ladies there to truly bring it to that next level, letting them, you know, fulfill that vision that they have for it. Same with our influencers, you know, just really giving people, equipping them with those resources and with those tools to make them, you know, bring that thing to reality. Yeah.
And as we talked about strengths many times, when you make space for people to do those things that they're good at, that their strengths show up, then they find more joy in doing that. And it typically goes better because it aligns with who they are, their hardwired top strengths, just like your woo and your strategic and other ones that we've talked about. It's fun to see those develop and showing up in other people, isn't it?
Yeah. It gives me that like proud dad kind of feeling, and I'm not a dad, but that's what I imagine.
You're a doggy dad, though, so that qualifies. Yeah. That's a start.
But I mean, just that feeling of proudness of seeing people fulfilling that vision that they had for something. I mean, it's just it's amazing. You know. With that, I mean, I'm a collaborator, so trying to really collaborate with those local businesses, those not-for-profits, just for that greater good. You know, what can we be doing together that we'd see a greater result in otherwise? You know, I mean, that's huge for me. I'm always trying to find those ways to collaborate with others, whether it's events, you know, spearheading different ideas, brainstorming. I don't have all the ideas. I'm not the end all be all. So I'm always like, all right, who would know a little bit more about this? Who, you know, so that's big for me too, that collaboration piece as well.
Yeah, that's for sure something that you do well you know, reach. I remember back when we were working year and a half ago, you were actively thinking, okay, who do I need to be talking to, or who would know this, or who would have this information so that I can learn about different aspects of this role. And you know, I think that's so key because, like you said, it helps people clearly see, I don't think I know everything, and I need other people for us to all be successful.
Absolutely. The biggest thing that I've kind of realized stepping into this role is just the power of collaboration and collaborating with others, right? And being okay with not knowing it all, not being able to do it all, but knowing that there's an entity or group that can, and leaning on them for that sort of support, you know, has been huge and instrumental for me. Right.
And that shows a humility on your part too, to just say, hey, I recognize that there's other people that have been around here and done this stuff that know about parts of this whole process or event or whatever it is, that I think that's a plus too, is when you say to people, I don't think I know everything. I'll often say to people, I know a lot about a little bit. And that seems to resonate with people because, you know, I don't think any of us like to be around people that seem like they think they know everything. Because they don't, even if they think they do or they act like they do.
Right. They don't. Well, and I think the sooner that you're okay with not knowing, the better off you're going to be, right?
Yeah. So. I'll often use the phrase of, you know, where I say, I like being around people that are comfortable in their own skin, right? They recognize they're flawed and they're human and they won't always do everything right, but their heart is, they want to do everything right. You know, I think that's kind of biographical. It's like, I'm going to miss it sometimes and disappoint sometimes, but my heart's desire is to always do well or to always deliver what people think that I should or that I'm going to. So, yeah, that awareness that we can give our best, and then when we miss, we just kind of have to regroup and
as long as your heart's in the right place,
That's
right?
That's right. Yeah. And we know our own hearts. That's even the cooler thing. Is like, well, if we gave it our best, we gave it our best. If we know that, you know, we can maybe sleep at night. I think we're both people that like, we get things on our mind and we start going, oh boy, let's see.
I've resorted to having a notepad by my nightstand just when I get up in those instances of oh my God, this, you know, I'll jot it down.
Yeah.
And I mean.
Yeah, sometimes getting it out of our head can help us take a breath and go back.
Try to get some sleep.
I joke sometimes with our team, but it's really not a joke. I'll say, this is a 3 a.m. in the morning Jeff question, you know, that I sometimes write down.
Thoughts,
Yeah. Because I'm like, well, here I am. Might as well use this time. So, so you've utilized those things that are uniquely you, right? Your woo, winning other people over, collaborating, being strategic about those kinds of things. So as you think about going forward, here we are in 2024, and you think, okay, I want to continue to be this kind of leader, collaborative. You've mentioned, you know, letting other people do things. What would you see, or what would you say is, you know, as a growing leader? I mean, you're still in your 20s, right? So I'm like more than twice your age. So, and I'm okay with that. But, you know, as you look ahead, I think most of us go, well, when I'm here, I want to show up this way, or I want to have had this kind of impact. What would be some of those things that when you kind of look in the crystal ball a little bit, you think, well, I want to be that. I want to become that, or be in the process of becoming that.
So oddly enough, I foresee myself still being in a position similar to this, if not the same position, but refining and streamlining what we're doing, and I mean, of course, growing the chamber. We're at 242 members, I believe, strong, which is huge.
That's
for a
impressive.
small
You
town
have
of
that
us.
right on tip of your tongue.
I look at it daily, you know.
Let's be honest. Yeah, you know it.
But growing that, really fostering that next generation for small business owners, for entrepreneurs. I'd love to create a space for them somewhere in Mantino where they can grow.
Like a physical space. Very cool.
Yeah, I definitely foresee that. And then just being open to the different communities that we have coming in here and making sure that if we're not serving them, making sure that we're implementing stuff to start serving them, right? I mean, Kankakee County is so diverse already as it is, but there's still so much room to go.
There's opportunity.
And there's so much opportunity. And there's different areas I feel like that are just so overlooked in a way. So it's making sure everyone has a seat at the table, continuing to do that.
That's an important thing. And I think I've heard others say that before. They're just maybe another way is like having a voice in the conversation, right? To be heard and seen. We all want that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to be heard and seen and appreciated and loved.
Yeah.
We can say that. Yeah. We do. We need that.
We surely do. And I think especially from just that business end, it's a lonely road as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, someone that's in leadership, I mean, it can be a very lonely road. So just making sure that we offer as an organization a space for them to come when they need it, I think is so important.
Yeah.
So.
And I know we've talked before too about the idea of having our personal board of directors kind of, it can be pretty informal, but it may be like, hey man, can I buy you a cup of coffee?
We all need it.
We need that. I need that. Right. We do. Those advisor, mentor, sounding board kinds of things. That's what I love about coaching is that it's a safe space. That people can say, man, this is driving me crazy, or I'm so frustrated with this, or I have this vision and nobody's getting it. And, we can have that part of it be that conversation to go, oh, no, that's not crazy. I get that. Yeah. And so I've said that so many times over the years. If somebody doesn't have 3, 4, 5 people that are they're like your tribe, so to speak, your ride or die friends, right? To just say, hey, everybody needs a core group of people that we can say, hey, I need your feedback. I need your input. Hear me out. Some of those kind of conversations. I just think we're all better off if we have that in our life.
Absolutely. I agree.
And that plays out in leadership as well as personal life to just say, listen, I need some feedback sometimes. If my head's somewhere it doesn't need to be, we'll just say that. Then someone can say, Jake, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's think this through. Jeff, you're off the ranch, man. I'm like, oh, what? This person has earned the right to tell me I'm off the ranch or that I'm not being reasonable.
Oh, we need it. We need people that are outside of your familial, regular friend circle. Yeah. That you can resort to professionally. Yep. I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. So those are some good leadership nuggets. You want to grow and continue collaborating. And, I think you enjoy, I know some of the things you've done with high school students and other people in your community. I see you being someone that enjoys that mentoring, that investing in others and building others up. That's a great trait that's going to always serve you well in leadership and just in general.
Thank you.
Is to say, man, I love seeing other people be successful.
There's something fulfilling about it, right? I mean, when you go and you meet with a group of high schoolers and you can see yourself in them.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it, I mean, being a coach,
it's
I think is huge. And now I'm someone where I never thought I would be that person, to provide that input. And here I am.
Here you are.
I feel that is such a duty of mine for these high schoolers and for the middle schoolers that we get to interact with from the chamber.
Absolutely is.
So I take great pride in that.
Yeah, it gives you that platform to say, here's a guy, here's what he's done, here's where he's been, here's what he's doing now. And then those times to mentor someone or encourage someone, and then 3, 4, 5, 10 years later, you either still have connection with them or you run into them or hear from them, going to go, you are doing that thing you wanted to do back in high school. That is fantastic. And like you said earlier, it's like proud dad vibes for me.
Yeah, seriously.
Working with college students, working with young professionals. I love that because I just sit back and watch you guys and go, wow, I don't know if I could have done that when I was 25, 28, 29 years old. But you guys are doing it and you're growing your organizations, growing your community. And I just think that's something definitely to be proud of.
Thank you.
Well, it's been fun having you back for another chat on
Thanks
Leadership
for having
Level
me
Up.
again.
Yeah. Always good to talk with you. And thanks again for your time. Love what you're doing. Go Jake.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Leadership Level Up. Hope you'll be with us next time. Thanks for listening to Leadership Level Up. Please subscribe so you don't miss future conversations with great leaders. If you would like to learn more about executive coaching and team development, please go to convergegroup.io for more information.